Good day, everyone. I am Ruth Magno. I'm going to report the last step of the VM GOSA framework, which is Action Plan. Action Plan. What change will happen? Who will do what by when to make it happen? An organization's action plan describes in great detail exactly how strategies will be implemented to accomplish the objectives developed. The plan refers to specific community and systems changes to be sought and b. the specific action steps necessary to bring about changes in all of the relevant sectors or parts of the community. An action plan is a checklist for the steps or tasks you need to complete in order to achieve the goals you have set. It details how the organization will make each strategy happen. It turns your vision into reality. It's an essential part of the strategic planning process and helps with improving teamwork planning. Not only in project management, but action plans can be used by individuals to prepare a strategy to achieve their own personal goals as well. If you haven't heard, failing to plan is planning to fail, said Benjamin Franklin supposedly once. Sometimes, businesses don't spend much time on developing an action plan before an initiative, which in most cases leads to failure. Planning helps you prepare for the obstacles ahead and keep you on track. And with an effective action plan, you can boost your productivity and keep yourself focused. Here are some benefits of an action plan you should know. First is it gives you a clear direction, as an action plan highlights exactly what steps to be taken and when they should be completed. You will know exactly what you need to do. Second, having your goals written down and planned out in steps, it will give you a reason to stay motivated and committed throughout the project. Third, with an action plan, you can track your progress toward your goal. And last is, since you are listing down all the steps you need to complete in your action plan, it will help you prioritize your task based on effort and impact. Action steps are developed for each component of the intervention or changes to be sought. These include action steps or what will happen, person responsible or who will do what, date to be completed or timing of each action step. Then resources required, resources and support, both what is needed and what's available. Fifth is barriers or resistance and a plan to overcome them. And last is collaborators. Who else should know about this action? Steps in writing an action plan. First, define your end goal. You are not clear about what you want to do and what you want to achieve, you are setting yourself up for failure. Start by defining where you are and where you want to be. Then write down your goal. Make sure that your goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Second step is list down the steps to be followed. Your goal must be clear. What exactly should you do to realize it? Create a rough template to list down all the tasks to be performed, due dates, and people responsible. It's important that you make sure that the entire team is involved in this process and has access to the document. This way, everyone will be aware of their roles and responsibilities in the project. Third is prioritize tasks and add deadlines. It's time to reorganize the list by prioritizing the task. Some steps you may need to prioritize as they can be blocking other sub-steps. Add deadlines and make sure that they are realistic. Consult with the person responsible for carrying it out to understand his or her capacity before deciding on deadlines. Step 4. Set milestones. Milestones can be considered mini goals leading up to the main goal at the end. The advantage of adding milestones is that they give the team members to look forward to something and help them stay motivated even though the final due date is far away. Step 5. Identify the resources needed. Before you start your project, it's crucial to ensure that you have all the necessary resources at hand to complete the task. And if they are not currently available, you need to first make a plan to acquire them. This should also include your budget. You can assign a column of your action plan to mark the cost of each task if there are any. The Step 6. Visualize your action plan. The point of this step is to create something that everyone can understand at a glance and then can be shared with everyone. The last step in writing an action plan is monitor, evaluate, and update. Allocate some time to evaluate the progress you've made with your team. You can mark tasks that are completed as done on this final action plan, bringing attention to how you've progressed toward the goal. The key aspects of the intervention or changes to be sought are outlined in the action plan. For example, in a program whose mission is to increase youth interest in politics, one of the strategies might be to teach students about the electoral system. Some of the action steps then might be to develop age-appropriate materials for students, to hold mock elections for candidates in local schools, and to include some teaching time in the curriculum. Here are two examples of action steps graphed out so you can easily follow the flow. The first action step is draft a social marketing plan. So the person responsible in this action step is Terry McNeil from marketing firm. The date to be completed is April 2006 and the resources required is $15,000 remaining donated. Potential barriers or resistance none anticipated, and the collaborators, members of the business action group. The next action step is ask local corporations to introduce flex time for parents and mentors. The person responsible is Maria Suarez from Business Action Group. The date to be completed is September 2008. Resources required is 5 hours, 2 hours for proposal preparation, 3 hours for meeting and transportation. Potential barriers or resistance. Corporation may see this as expensive, must convince them of benefit of the plan for the corporation. And the collaborators are members of the business action group and the school action group. Of course, once you have finished designing the strategic plan or VM GOSA for your organization, you are just beginning in this work. Your action plan will need to be tried and tested and revised, then tried and tested and revised again. You'll need to obtain feedback from community members and add and subtract elements of your plan based on that feedback. In summary, everyone has a dream, but the most successful individuals and community organizations take that dream and find a way to make it happen. VM GOSA helps groups do just that. This strategic planning process helps community group define their dream, set their goals, define ways to meet those goals, and finally, develop practical ways bring about needed changes. That's all. Thank you.